Okay, so the Chiefs fell in their first game of the season to the Los Angeles Chargers, 27-21. And there is a lot of things that a lot of people are going to pretty much take away from this game, and a lot of them are negative things. The first thing I'm going to talk about in this video here, and I'm recording this immediately after the game ended, so take of that what you will. Their defense, especially their pass coverage, was fucking atrocious. It was so bad. I mean, Herbert had, first of all day to throw. I mean, they weren't blitzing and they weren't covering anybody because A, if they were blitzing, the pressure would get in quicker on the quarterback, and B, the coverage would be a hell of a lot better than it was in tonight's game. And that was one of the main key sort of points in this game that led to the Chargers winning instead of the Kansas City Chiefs. And obviously, I'm going to center this video around, Kansas City losing this game. The Chargers did get a huge win. Justin Herbert played amazing. He played one of the best games of his entire career. This might be the best game I've ever seen the guy play, because usually he does not play very good against the elite teams in the league. He tends to play more like a game manager, but he was in full command of the offense tonight, airing it on all levels of the field. And if you're a Chargers fan, you love to see it. If you're a Herbert fan, you love to see it. You love to see him get this big win in, the early part of the season against a marquee playoff, truly elite team in the NFL. But as it stands with the Kansas City Chiefs, that showing on the defensive side of the football was absolutely embarrassing, and that defense should be nothing short of ashamed of themselves, because they're probably the reason why their team lost the game. I have to touch on Patrick Mahomes in this video. I have to do it. I have to sort of talk about him in today's video, because he was so inconsistent in this game. One play, he's making a crazy run and a sidearm throw down the field for a chunk play to get his team in scoring range. And the next play, he misses a fucking 4-yard throw to the sideline. Like, dude, it is infuriating when I see Mahomes do that. It is infuriating when I see any quarterback. There was portions of this game he looked like rookie season Caleb Williams. If that is the precedent that is going to be set for this season, for the Kansas City Chiefs and for Patrick Mahomes, it's not a good one to set. This is the last thing that you wanted to happen if you're a Chiefs fan. You do not want to start off the season on the wrong note, losing the first game, because the very next week you have to play the Philadelphia Eagles, which they looked good in last night's game. And that's just, you don't want to play the Eagles this early in the season, first of all, and you don't want to start off 0-1 with low morale and zero momentum because you lost the first game, and go into that game losing that, and then lose that game, and you're 0-2. I know they play the Giants afterwards, but don't they play the Ravens after that? So I mean, I don't know. The Chiefs just look like they aren't going to get off to a really good start in this game. Mahomes was wildly inconsistent. All he could do was hit the short little throws. His deep ball was awful, unless there was a guy wide open, which, I mean, there was a couple dudes wide open. Unless the guy was wide open, he wasn't hitting the throws. He was hitting the dinky little ones, and the wide open dudes, he couldn't make the tough throws in this game. And the Chargers defense, while they weren't, good, they were good enough to at least, give their team a chance of winning this game. And that's exactly what they went out there and did. When it mattered, they held the Chiefs to a field goal. Travis Kelce's old ass, I mean, I think he caught a touchdown pass, but holy fuck, he looks so slow on the field. I mean, that guy needs to retire, to be honest with you. He is old, he's geriatric, he can't run. I would be surprised if he ran a 5-second 40-yard dash. I would be fucking stunned. He looks so slow, and I don't even know how he got so open, because it was a fake block, and he just went out for a fucking go route, and he was wide open. Man, that had nothing to do with him, his route running skill or agility whatsoever. He just ran forward on a fake block. You can teach a fucking high schooler to do that efficiently, and once he's able to get it down pat, he's going to be able to do it in a real game, and he's going to be wide open because everyone thinks it's a fucking screen, and he fake blocks, and he goes up, and it's a touchdown. That has nothing to do with Kelce being good, everything to do with the play call and the design of that play that led to that touchdown. Mahomes was very spotty. Accuracy scared me. He was only hitting the dinky little fucking throws. Anything intermediate. He was getting so many passes deflected at the line of scrimmage. And the worst thing that can happen to you, other than interception, is a defender gets their hands on the football. right? And this Tart guy for the Chargers, I don't even know his first name, was getting his hand on the ball so much in this game. He had like 5 swats in this game. It was crazy. He was a fucking defensive menace out there, and I think Mahomes' arm slot is sometimes very fucking low. So he's throwing it sidearm. He needs to just find one arm angle and throw from it, because he's throwing these little sidearm passes, and they're getting batted down at the line of scrimmage. Dude, what do you think is going to happen when you're throwing from a weird arm angle? That's probably going to be the end result, and it was in this game. The offense was inconsistent and sputtering at times in this game. The defense could not cover anyone. Their run stopping was very, very mediocre, and that is at best. That's me giving them the benefit of the doubt. If the Chargers wanted to in this game, instead of throwing it all over them, they could have ran it all down their goddamn throat. Chris Jones, total and complete non-factor in tonight's game. I mean, just didn't hear his name called a singular time in this game. They took him out the game. The offensive line gave Herbert plenty of time to throw the football, and in turn, Herbert delivered strike after strike down the field because it was fucking easy for him. It was easy for him because the situation was great and the defense was cream puff. Look at how Kansas City played defense in this game. I mean, they got carved the fuck up because they couldn't get a rush and because they couldn't cover anyone. When you give the other team's quarterback throws to open players consistently, wide open players consistently, you are setting your team up for failure, because when you leave guys open like that, it's easy as fuck. It's simple. The other team's going to go drive down and score for a majority of the game, and that's what the Chargers did in this game. They went down the field. It was their way the whole game. The Chiefs did nothing. You'd think they would adjust at halftime because they were getting smoked in the passing game, but they did not adjust a single fucking time. And it's hard to believe because of how good this Kansas City coaching staff really is that they wouldn't adjust, but they didn't. There was open dudes everywhere on every level and portion of the field. It was fucking crazy. That has to be fixed. And is it going to get any better against Philly, who has a better overall team than the LA Chargers? Do you think that's going to get any better? My bets are no. My bets are a big fat fucking no for that game. They're probably going to get killed in that game. I'd be surprised if that game was any close in any way. Mahomes needs to, listen, I'm not trying, he didn't play bad, but he didn't play good. He had like 2 good throws, and don't tell me the one when he was falling and he threw a 2-yard throw was good, because that's athletic ability. That has nothing to do with reading defense. He just ran. He ran in this line of scrimmage and just tossed it. All right, I'm not trying to discredit him, because he's one of the only players in the league that can consistently make a play like that, other than maybe 4 or 5 other dudes that can make that play. But still, that's what he does. That's something we're used to. That's not a crazy play anymore from Mahomes. He does that on a regular basis so much that it's no longer crazy. But when he had to throw it deep for half the game, he couldn't hit a guy in stride. He couldn't get through his reads. He was looking at one guy the whole game. And, I mean, he looked so bad. He was just fixated on 1 or 2 dudes for most of the plays. And when you have that sort of tunnel vision as a quarterback and you're not getting to the backside reads in a quick manner, that is not a good thing, because you might be leaving yards on the table. When you're leaving yards on the table, you could potentially be leaving points on the table as well. That's how the National Football League works. You miss a read, that's that, man. That's on you. It ain't on the line or whatever the fuck. You missed the throw, you missed the read. He missed a lot of reads. He missed a lot of open players. He missed a lot of throws in this game that he needed to make. He didn't make them. And when he did, it was late in the game and they were down by 2 scores and they didn't really have much of a chance. I thought they were going to have a voodoo comeback. I thought this was going to be one of those, oh, come on, not this shit again comebacks. But then Justin Herbert put a quick end to that with a 20-yard scramble to end the game. So thank God for that, because I was not going to have any of that Mahomes devil magic voodoo BS this year. I do not want to see that a single goddamn time this NFL season. I don't want to see him be down by 20 points, going in the second half, and all of a sudden their team plays like the fucking goddamn fucking prime Patriots, and they go down the field and they score every time, and their defense is the fucking 70s steel curtain, and you get the point I'm trying to make, and they find a way to win the game. I have a feeling that's not what's going to happen in this game. It'll get close to happening, not in this season. Excuse me. I think that's not going to happen. It'll maybe get close to it. Maybe it'll happen once or twice. But last year it happened every fucking game where they just got so unfathomably lucky. And you got to think, right? Eventually, that luck is going to run out. And the luck maybe is starting to run out. I know it's, only one game. Maybe this is an indicator of how the season is going to go for Kansas City. But if we have to judge it based off this single game, their defense looked like shit. Mahomes was not the most consistent quarterback in the world. And they have a lot of problems they need to address. Where's the run game? I mean, seriously, where the fuck is this running game at for Kansas City? I mean, I remember they used to run motherfuckers over. What happened? They tried to throw it so much. I know they were down, but you could at least try to establish that. I felt like during the course of this game, they didn't do that good enough. They didn't run the football good enough. They got a couple okay runs from Mahomes and from Pacheco, but they did really nothing to impress me running the ball. If they're going to be a team that only relies on throwing the ball this season, they're not going to go far in the playoffs. I know it's Mahomes. I know it's Andy Reid. I know it's the Kansas City goddamn motherfucking sons of bitch and asshole Chiefs. I get that to the fullest extent and to the fullest degree. But you cannot win only being good at one thing in the league. If you're good at running, but you don't have a quarterback, then you're fucked. If you have a great quarterback, but you have no run game, or run-blocking offensive line, then you're fucked. And the play calling is bad, you're fucked, right? You're totally, completely, utterly fucked on every level of the game. It doesn't matter how good your defense is. It doesn't matter anything. Nothing. None of that matters at all in any fucking way, shape, or form, man. That's going to do it for this video. The Chiefs got off to a rocky start in the season, 0-1, losing to the Chargers. Nobody expected you to lose to the Chargers in the first game of the season. There's a lot that needs to be fixed and addressed before the Philadelphia Eagles game, because if they come out playing like that against Philadelphia, all hell will break loose because they will be 0-2. A lot of people like me probably will overreact to it, but it'll be sort of a righteous overreaction because you don't expect a team like Kansas City to lay an egg in the first game of the season and then go and have to face a hard opponent the next week and lose to them and start out 0-2 in the year. That is not something that is on the table. That's not viable because you have no momentum going into that third game. I, once again, know it's the New York Giants, but still, any given Sunday, any team can win. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.